Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. I've had the Tacoma a little over 3 years, and every once in a while I'll get a question about it. How's it holding up? How's it doing? What do you think? Do you still like it? So I figured I'd do a quick 3-year review on this rig. So I guess in March it was, I've had it for 3 years, so I've just crossed that. It's got about 22,000 miles on it. It's got the 4-cylinder with an automatic. You guys could see it's got the, I guess they call this the extra cab. And just to give you an idea how big the bed is, right? There's obviously a golf cart sitting in it. The golf cart's about 93 inches long, and you could see it's more or less got the whole thing filled up. It's only got a couple of scratches and dents on it over the last 3 years, and you can see that and that. And on the other side, I was loading something in, and just to give you an idea how thin this truck is, I don't know if you guys could see it here. Maybe you can see the bottom of the buckle. I was just leaning against the truck with my stomach, and it buckled the side of it. I can probably give that the old suction cup to pull it out. This thing on its run out to Pennsylvania, and I took 81, you know, if you're familiar with 81, it's pretty hilly and all on both sides of Scranton. So I had the cruise control set to 75, 74, and I let it do some of the work. A lot of times when I came up to a hill or anticipated a hill, I had a tendency to you know, run the speed up a little higher. So or if it was pulling a hill and it was really racing, I would you know, click off the speed control, let it shift up a gear and let it slow down a little bit, because I didn't want to beat up on the poor truck. Anyway, if you guys remember that tractor load I had on it, that was probably most of its capacity right there, especially the way it was loaded. It was loaded very heavy in the back. I got 22 miles to the gallon out there, and it's ripe to be fed again, and it probably did about that for the way back, maybe slightly worse, because with that roof thing and all on the golf cart, I don't think that helped the air slide over it easily. The seats too. So typically when I drive it around town, or if I'm, you know, just going someplace and I really don't have any load on it or anything, it gets 24, 25, and once again on the highway with that big, all that load on it, it got you know, 22. So I consider that pretty good. And the load was on its back for, like, on the highway all around south central PA, uphill, downhill, you know, hill and dale and all. So you know, I can't complain about that. The way I had it loaded though, if you guys remember, there was a tractor up sitting on the far rail, and then there was one in the back, and then there was a lawnmower deck sitting here. When I would turn right, it was okay, but when I would turn left, it was a bit squirrely. So I really think I had this corner way overloaded. Part of the deck was out on the tailgate, and part of the tractor was out on the tailgate, so it wasn't loaded very well. I don't know if I could put airbags or something in the back to help this thing, but it's definitely a little soft in the back. For me, the truck has been great. I would recommend it. I'd call it excellent, best truck in the world, and all that kind of stuff. But and this is an important but, it's more of a car than a truck. this thing is more of a truck than a car. The whole thing is made out of metal, right? And then this plastic bed liner is on top of metal. I mean, it's got a 5-speed transmission, a 4-cylinder. The frame's really heavy. It rides, if it's empty, it rides a little harsher. That's a 96 Ranger. It should be it's the XL version. It should be the XC, extra cheap version. It's got the standard manual steering and no air conditioning, no radio, and crank windows. How's that for an antique? What I like about this thing, once again, it's very comfortable. It's very car-like. The stereo is nice. Unless I spent a lot more money on it, I think it was like 24 and a half. And then I think they gave me $2,500 on my trade-in. Yeah, I drove it out of there reasonable. Maybe it was a little less than that. Yeah, anyway, it was reasonably priced. Once again, it's a 15. It's a comfortable ride. It's a soft ride, and with that softness, you kind of give up some of the more truck-like stuff. The bed is made out of plastic. Like, if you cut a hole in this plastic or break the plastic, there's like road underneath. There's no metal unless you happen to be someplace where there's a cross member. So you kind of want to be aware of that. This is also pretty thin. So, like in my case, I put something up on the rail here, but I put cardboard first, and then that plastic stuff, you know, the stuff that separates aluminum cans to kind of help it out a little bit. I also did it up tight against that corner because I felt it was a little stronger there. But if one wants to throw stuff in the bed, be it toolboxes or rocks or railroad ties, I'm not thinking it's going to hold up very well. And once again, I felt like with the load I had on it, it was the tractor load. It was a bit over its head, and it probably, if it was a couple of 100 pounds lighter, it would have been better. The tractor load was probably 800-900 pounds with the deck. This is more like 650. It was happier with the 650 than it was with the 900 pounds, especially. Once again, I had a lot of the 900 pounds out on the back deck. Would I recommend it? It's a good, solid truck. It does everything I needed to do, everything I wanted to do. I didn't buy four-wheel drive because I don't take, generally speaking, I don't take my trucks out in the winter. And if I do take them out in the winter, what I'm trying to get, if it's snowed in, I can't get to it. So there's really no reason. I would recommend the Tacoma. When I showed up at my son's house with the golf cart in the back, my son told me I should trade it in on a Tundra. Drive something bigger. But you know, for when I'm going someplace, we're to the point where it's just the wife and I. And you know, we can, you know, us and our stuff all fits in the cab. I would never own another truck. I mean, I love the Ranger, and I'm going to keep it to my last day. But I would never own another truck without the extra space in the cab, especially a small truck. Because everything you buy, right? If I put 2 people and 2 sandwiches into the Ranger, you're tight in that cab. I mean, you're shoulder to shoulder knocking over each other's soda. So it's roomier in the Tacoma. It's nice to be able to put some stuff in the back and not have it get wet. I really recommend it. So, in conclusion, go buy a Tacoma. I've been very happy with it, but just beware, it's a very nice car-like truck, not truck-like car. You know what I mean? It's more Corolla than it is F-150 for sure, or Chevy 1500, or Dodge. What do they call those things? D-150s. It's more El Camino-ish, let's say. It's not the kind of truck you would take out and use for masonry or something like that. I mean, mechanically it would take it, but I think you would destroy the whole plastic back end. Probably somebody's going to write in and tell me, oh no, I have one and I do this, that, and the other thing, and the plastic holds up beautifully. In my opinion, the plastic holds up until it doesn't, right? You might bang where the tires go, where the wheel welds are 100 times, and then on time 101 they shatter. And I think once they're not continuous like they are, I think they're completely done. All right, enough of my ramblings. Go buy yourself a nice Tacoma. Thanks for watching and commenting, subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.